Hello again, little artists. Today we are studying Pablo Picasso and the art movement of Cubism. And we are going to be doing a kind of an abstract cubist portrait today. But before we get to that, I wanted to do a little bit of technique of shading, because a lot of his pictures have various kinds of shading in it and textures and stuff. So I wanted to just do a really fast walkthrough of that. Already put my acrylic paints on. I have two palettes today, just for a little bit more space. So I'm just going to show you quick with red. If I wanted to shade with red, this is a little thick. You can thin it down with a little bit of water if you want. I'm going to add a tiny bit of water to that. And I would put, so I'm pretending like the light source is at the top here. Put some paint on there. And then I would dab, I'm going to make it just a little bit darker with some black. I'm going to put just a tiny bit of black on the corner of my brush. And I'm going to go at the bottom of wherever it's going to be shaded. And you can just blend right on the canvas if you want. And you can work your way this way. And you can clean your brush off if you want. And I'm going to dip back in the red again. And just work my way back down towards that, blending back and forth to make it kind of look like it gets darker. And you don't have to just do this as a shadow with the tone here, the hue that is red moving towards a shadow with black. You can also do it with two colors. So I'm going to clean off my brush again. Let's say I'm going to use this greenish color. We're going to make this say I want this the darker side. Make it down here at the bottom. I'm going to clean up my brush. And you do this kind of fast while it's still wet. And then I dip in my blue. It doesn't really matter. Usually I start from the light and go dark, but this time I went the other way. And then as you work towards it, you just kind of blend into it. You can go back up a little bit if you want, back and forth. And dip more in the blue. Like that. See how it goes from blue down to green. And in the middle there should be kind of a bluish green. Oh, this is kind of a bluish green already anyway, but that's one way to do a really quick shading demonstration. You can also go lighter that way too, but instead of, if we wanted to go lighter this way, we could use white and blend that way towards white. I just wanted to show you that quick because there's some shading happening in this portrait. The woman in the fur coat, if you wanted to try and add in some shading in there to try to get that technique. So today, to make it a little bit more fun, I decided that we can have you can either choose to copy this as detailed as it is, or add in your own details, or simplify it. Or if you have a friend sitting next to you and you would like to try and do a portrait of them in a cubist style painting, we can sketch your neighbor first, and then after you get all the lines in of the picture that you want to make of your neighbor, then you can focus on your picture and paint it. You guys each take turns drawing each other and then painting the sketch that you've done. So I don't have anybody to be my model today to paint, so I'm just going to copy this. So first thing I'm going to do is just sketch in, see the details here. So Picasso liked to, remember we talked about breaking things into different planes to look at the different angles, like sort of viewing multiple angles at the same time. So it almost looks like this woman's face, like she's looking straight at the camera here, at the viewer. And yet at the same time, it looks like she is in profile view because her nose is faced this way, right? Like she's looking that way, yet her eyes are on the front. So he kind of has broken up these two different angles at once. So it would be kind of fun if you, when you were drawing your neighbor or your friend, to think about, how can I make this look like I'm looking at somebody from two sides at the same time? So maybe you have the nose off to one side and the mouth is kind of off-centered and the eyes are in the front, but Again, this is very abstract, so there's no perspective in here. You just go ahead and have fun, and if you want to give them a hat, you can do that, or whatever. So I want you to really have fun and explore this one. So I'm going to sketch this in really fast, and then I will slow it down and talk about just layering in the colors. So here we have some just of the general shapes of the features of the face. I got the eyes, the eyebrows in there, the ear, the nose, the mouth, just a little bit of the top of her collar. Usually portraits, we do, just below the shoulders, up to the top of the head, and then the funny, cool hat she's got on there. So you don't have to follow the colors that are in here. I'm happy to let you guys just do whatever colors you're kind of feeling like, as long as we don't run out of time. So I'm going to just start with the colors that are kind of in the background. I'll do the yellows in there, and then work forward from that. So I'll speed up again, but I'm just layering in the colors, and if I want to do some shading, I'll put that in there as I go. And then the last thing I'll do, it looks like Picasso really liked to outline things. Not always, but a lot of the times his stuff is outlined in black here and there. This is outlined in red to just give it even more of a broken up look to it. So I'm going to do that, and we'll let you guys go to town making some cool cubist portraits. Okay, so I dripped a little right here. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to just use my paper towel to wipe that up. And I got some water here too. Okay, and then we'll call that done. Just a really quick tutorial on how to make a fast cubist portrait in the style of Picasso. So I hope you had fun with this today, and thank you so much.